for like Europe, there's like 16 team left competing. There's like 6 spot left for the World
Uh-huh.
Cup, and I guess everything's gonna be played out in this month of March. By between now and by the end of March, which and there should be international break coming up in the following week,
Mm-hmm.
where they'll everybody will play their last match to qualify for the World Cup. And for Caribbean nations like Jamaica, we had hope in you guys. We still have hope. You know, Curacao was food for you guys, and I mean,
Play with the food,
you
man.
play with your food. They're like this, you play with your food.
Yeah.
Now you have to go and face a tougher match, and you have to play 2 match. No, you have to
In
play
order to
New
qualify.
Caledonia, and if you beat them, now you have to play Congo DR, and that's probably one going to be Jamaica's toughest match.
The New Caledonia team, I don't really know about, but the
I
Congo,
don't. Yeah.
the Congo is a tough team.
Cause there's a team that knocked out Nigeria. Cause Nigeria actually would have been in their spot to try to qualify, but they knocked out Nigeria. So for fans or people listening and watching,
And Nigeria
that gives
is
you
one.
a clear perspective of how good the Congo DR is, because they knocked out Nigeria. Nigeria is a big name in world football who usually make World Cups. I guess some of the best talents in the world. So, and they got knocked out by DR Congo because they've been on a crazy run in this World Cup qualifying campaign. But as I was saying, the for Europe they have like 4 spots of allotted to them from those teams those 16 teams who's gonna compete. And there's those notable names that we're accustomed to knowing in the World Cup,
Yeah.
like Italy, Denmark, and those teams still yet to
yeah.
qualify. Poland and who else? Those are teams who still competing for the 4 spot that's available to them. Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, and those teams. And then there's those other teams like I guess like on a global like some teams from South America, some teams from Asia and Africa. So those are the teams like where Jamaica fits in with Bolivia and Suriname and the Congo. So and it goes back to the Iran situation, like the fact that Iran might pull out, cause like
Somebody else might get a chance.
no, and this is the thing. No, I guess according to the FIFA rules and laws that govern this process, Iran is from a Asia group, and the Asia group falls in with Iraq and UAE and those teams.
So the next team for filling the gap would have to be a team from that area.
Yeah, and those teams is like Iraq and EU, from what I was made to understand, likely to take their spot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's not confirmed as yet. Like you said before,
Yeah, you're still waiting to see
if
FIFA put out there.
make an official statement on this Iran situation that they're likely to pull out due to this conflict with the US and whatnot.
Yeah.
So-
Hopefully, cause Iran qualified second in their group, so hopefully they don't pull out. Cause Iran is a good team.
Yeah,
Iran is a good team.
and because they've made World Cup consecutively, like they're a really good team.
Yeah, it's consecutively every World Cup they are there. So
Yeah, so
I hope they don't pull out, and well, the conflict eases, but you know,
so when you think we're gonna make it? We're gonna make it by?
Guyana. We gonna make it. We gonna make it. We just gotta keep at it, man.
I guess and not just keep at it. We need to improve with football infrastructure.
Yeah,
So-
the sports infrastructure in the whole, you know, development from grassroots,
Yeah.
they help a lot. And I mean, not just like in my time, we had like the Coca-Cola competition and so forth as a youth, right?
Yeah.
And from that, you used to get picked to the under 17 national team or the under 21 national team and so
Yeah.
forth. That don't really happen anymore.
Really?
Nah.
And
And Coca-Cola competition was the toughest
yeah.
youth football
I
competition
guess
they had.
well, I guess if there's the case, we might gotta start trying to lobby for these things, man, because
Yeah, no,
we need to have youths more involved in sports
Yeah.
and know that they have a direction that they could actually go and make something of themselves.
You
And
see, what happened was I think Digicel actually took over the youth football.
whatever
a
happened
piece
to
of time.
though? What happened to that?
I don't know. I have no idea.
It just fall apart, just
uh, just disappear, I guess. But they actually did a good job, right? I think it was the same youth tournament they used to keep, right? And after that, you see, what should happen, we know, is like a team should be picked from the youth tournament, right?
Yeah.
Either you get them in camp or wherever, you do training for national team, wherever, clinics and so forth.
Yeah.
But these things don't happen. I guess financing and sponsorship and so
plays a
forth
big role in
plays
that.
a very important role in that. But we improving. I
Yeah.
get my former teammate Vernon. He actually keeps a excellent youth clinic
Yeah.
for youths, I think male and female, for football.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
And he actually takes them every year. I think now they go to Trinidad to play in a tournament to play against other youth teams.
And there's something going on.
There's something going on like every August, I think they go.
Oh.
Right. And we used to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. In my time, I think it was on the 13 or on the 11 or so. You go to Trinidad, you play against different teams in the Caribbean and so forth. That helps a lot with development, open your eyes, a different style of play and different people, because you can't keep playing against one set of people all the time. When you meet to the international stage, you know,
Yeah.
freeze
yeah,
up
yeah.
on them thing. So yeah, Vernon actually does a good job. He got a academy,
Yeah.
a youth academy that he
Locally,
yeah.
it is
Yeah.
good. At least there's something to be optimistic about. But I feel like we need to do more, because we need to be on this World Cup stage. Like
Yeah,
we need to
yeah,
take part
definitely.
in this tournament. We need to get Guyanese.
Something
and
to
Guyana,
cheer about.
even down to the Caribbean, something to cheer about as a whole, because Guyana was always talented in the regards where football is concerned, dominating the region for years.
Yeah.
So we've fallen far, and we need to get back there.
Yeah, remember we
So
went.
these-
We actually make it to Gold Cup. It's Gold Cup, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was the
yes.
last. That was the last time.
Yeah.
Those in
I
those
think-
days was with Kai. Back then.
No.
was-
That was recent.
Oh,
we
yeah,
make it
yeah,
to-
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Is in 2024 or
So,
2024?
yeah, something around that. Yeah, that was interesting. We made it that far.
But yeah, we need to be on this World Cup stage, because this year seems like it's gonna be an amazing experience to able to travel from Mexico to US to Canada to be a part of this experience. So
Mhm.
for those who out there, the show goes on. So the international conflicts that have been going on, it doesn't stop anything, and this World Cup would be a great experience, and clearly would be safe.
Yeah.
So the cartel issue have already been resolved in Mexico. So I guess these two friendlies that coming up between Mexico and Iceland, Mexico and Portugal, is gonna be a prime example, and put Mexico on the map for fans to see, that all is well and all is safe. So World Cup, is gonna be just as they proceed in their mind, the experience before everything that came along
Yeah,
is
yeah.
gonna still be the same way. So it's something to look forward to.
Move forward.
So because I guess after March, all teams will be set, all groups will be set.
We
And-
gonna see if Neymar gonna stay
Yeah.
fit.
Yeah, and then Brazil is another thing. Brazil, the Brazil have some amazing talents coming out now. So I guess we South America, so Guyana we not there, so we automatically turn Brazilians. So Brazil is we team, like most of us, we've done, automatically take citizenship and start cheering for Brazil. We get we jersey
Wear
and
the
we in
blue,
all
the
those
blue and
pubs.
yellow. But
Yeah, and we in there.
yeah.
Isn't me? So
Brazilian.
and so a lot of us have our views on who we think should make this Brazil team, because this Brazil team is gonna be very hard to make this time around. Surprisingly, and not just surprisingly, but it's nice to see that Brazil teams become a team that is gonna be difficult to make,
Yeah,
because the amount of talent that they have.
Yeah, to bring us back to the
the days
golden days.
Yeah, Ronaldo and them guys. So like,
Ronaldinho and so.
so I feel like this Brazil team is it's gonna do good in this World Cup. Hopefully it surprises and go all the way, but we shall see. We shall see.
Holiday in Brazil. Like.
Yeah, so it's gonna be something nice. So we have those last qualifying phase starting in a week or two, where everybody's gonna try their best to get there. So for the Caribbean and this part of the world, I mean, the teams that still there competing, like Guyana. Sorry, not Guyana, not there yet, but we have Jamaica and Suriname. Those are teams I guess we could root for and hope that they do their best, and by some miracle, because football, like, it's luck is necessary sometimes.
Yeah.
It's got to be lucky if it gets you.
Because Guyana there, hopefully it could be talking it into, you know, into the, throwing it out there. So
put into the universe.
Next World Cup, you never know.
We might get there. So
Guyana might dip on the map.
Yeah, so there's Jamaica and them. So those are games to look forward to, and hopefully they by some miracle the football gods bless them and they're able to get there, so they could be part of the World Cup and represent the Caribbean. So yeah, so I think that's about it for the World Cup. What else? We're in the regards of World Cup. So we don't know about the ticketing situation for people might be looking for tickets. This until the 2nd of April. Those
mark the date.
Mark the date. The site will be open.
When
back
the
for
open, hell break loose. Tickets going quick.
Yeah.
Tickets going quick.
So Caribbean people and Guyanese, don't be last minute. You know, these organizations and fans out there, they don't think like we. They is plot and scheme a year ahead of time. So you might wait in 2 months or 3 months before for buy a ticket, and I promise you, these top sporting event, you won't get anything. So
I don't know.
So April 2nd, keep that date. April 2nd, ticket venues will be opening back online through FIFA sites for you guys to buy your tickets. If you want to be part of this World Cup experience, starts on the 11th of June, where Mexico will be taking on South Africa. That's in Mexico, so this is where the World Cup begins and ends on, like I said, the 19th of July in New York. Is New York or New Jersey? MetLife Stadium, New Jersey.
Yeah,
MetLife Stadium. That's where the final will be. Oof. So, from Mexico to Canada to New York, it's gonna be a crazy experience. So, as we move forward in the regard, so any new updates, we'll be keep you guys in tune for this World Cup. And another note, like outside the World Cup, be moving on from World Cup on the local scene, for football and the local scene, for those who watching and listening, for you may not know, or you might hear through the grapevines, there's Kashiv and Shanghai tournament likely to launch again. So we have something on the local scene to look forward to, and as we progress, we'll be able to give you guys some updates on, you know, this this Kashiv and Shanghai, you know, coming back on scene.
Yeah.
So you know, Guyanese used to, you know,
that was the tournament.
Yeah, that was the tournament. We, from as little boys growing up, that's something we always look forward to, because you know,
I'm playing the final, but
yeah, there was like it's like a Champions League or World Cup stage you're on.
Yeah.
People travel from all across the Caribbean for this tournament, so you know, it's likely to be the experience once again. So as we progress, we'll be able to give you guys some more information on that.
As we get info on these tournaments and so forth, we'll of course share it with you guys.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see if they'll expand like FIFA and involve more team from across the region.
Yeah, we get more grounds now, better sports facilities.
So it would be an amazing thing to see teams from across the Caribbean and even, you know, right there in South America be part of this.
Yeah, we had those before. We had I could
remember in the day, and this team from Suriname.
Robin Hood. Not Robin Hood.
There was this guy. I can't remember the guy's name, But I could remember being at one of those Kashi finals. I think this guy was a fine banner from Suriname. You had a Ed banner and a team. I can't remember the team that they play.
No.
I think it's top 20 that they play in the finals. Right?
Yeah, we
I
had.
can't remember. Like,
I know we had Trinidadian teams. I can't remember the Suriname's team.
yeah. So
But I know the Trinidadian teams used to come and give us a good fight. I think they
Yeah.
win it like
Yeah.
once or so. I think
Yeah.
Joe Public was here.
yeah.
Jablote. I can't remember if Caledonia was here. But yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, moving on to see this club football Champions League.
We had
The league.
a very exciting week of
Yo.
Champions League football.
Yo.
Remember I said Galatasaray
Yeah.
is a team that gonna give Liverpool headache.
Yeah, and some people didn't like him that time.
I get Bills, Aguero, attacking Strumness, and watch what happen. Galatasaray, boy.
Yeah, that's right. I
Osimhen.
mean, and Galatasaray had they have a good history against Liverpool though. So some Liverpool fans may not know, or some fans in general may not know. Like Galatasaray they have a good record against Liverpool at home in European competition for decades now.
Yeah, remember, to me, their stadiums, the crowd, atmosphere,
Yeah,
is one of the best in the world.
yeah.
You can't get past the crowd. Their crowd are, whoa. But I expected, I didn't expect Liverpool to lose. But I figured they might have drawn or so, but yeah, Galatasaray scoring real goals right now and defending a goal with heart. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So the second leg, yeah. Your predictions for this? Well, no, Ard. We're gonna do for the viewers in the comment section. Just give your predictions. How this second leg's gonna play out for some of these teams. Example: Galatasaray and Liverpool. So Galatasaray going into the second leg with 1 goal lead. So you're gonna give me your predictions. Comment your predictions.
the next leg is at Liverpool.
How this is gonna play out for Barca, Newcastle, and that game was a good game. That game was a good game. I mean,
was
I guess for
expected.
most fans and Barcelona, it was kind of disappointing in Barca performance. For me, like I think
No,
I surprised at them.
That was expected.
No.
I
Don't
ex-
say that. Don't say that.
I
don't say that.
expected that.
No,
First
I
thing-
mean expect that.
Furthermore, I
And I can't-
expected Newcastle to win
Yeah,
because I just watch Barcelona a lot,
yeah,
right? I ain't hating on them. I know they Madrid, but still, I ain't hating on them.
yeah,
Newcastle midfield is some big, strong dudes that get some skill
yeah.
and then is kick.
Mm,
They control in the midfield. Petri cannot control the midfield. He gonna try, but they gonna toss his body all around the midfield, buddy. They get off with Morda because
but Coffee,
this guy Bruno Gomes, right?
yeah,
Gomes was out.
he was out.
They
yeah.
get off. Barcelona get off.
But
with it.
regardless, but no, don't they can't do them. No, don't be regardless.
No, I
I
don't-
feel that the performance was somewhat a shell of themselves, and they still managed to get a result out of the game. But I feel Barcelona is way better than them, and I don't know if the coach going with the mindset of Louis just get a result from this game, or will Louis try
No,
to
they
maintain a
you will
defensive
see-
strength.
The first thing that showed me that they came to win that game is I think the bench Torres, right? Ferran Torres. Torres was on the bench.
Okay.
He got missed 5 goals before he scored 1. So they bench he right away. Right?
Yeah.
The Newcastle team,
Uh,
right? They know how for Barcelona is space. Once you give them space and to create, they're gonna do damage, real damage though. So with Gomes, I vex Gomes it wasn't there to play.
yeah, but
They would have
football-
get beat but 3.
Yeah, but I always said a football team is 22 men, so
Yeah.
regardless when one down, another man up. So
Yeah, so injuries and them thing people missing, you can't complain about that.
yeah, but Barca they underperform, and we know it as football fans. Barca underperform, but they still managed to get a result out of the game. And unfortunate for Newcastle, they didn't take advantage of the
Yeah,
opportunity.
they had chances too,
Yeah.
They had chances they could have buried the team.
Yeah. So you could for the so you guys give your predictions. Barca Newcastle. Yeah, and moving on to Real Madrid and Man City. That game that game was kind of surprising for me. For me, to be honest, it was kind of surprising because
Hmm.
you know I expect Man City to go and dominate and actually win the game because of the injury crisis that Real Madrid faced in. But
Yeah, everybody expected that.
yeah,
Everybody expected that. But it's Real Madrid at the end of the day play with
yeah,
heart.
yeah, and I think that was the advantage going into there. They know everybody's gonna go and get their best, and that was just the outcome of the game. So
Yeah.
that was good. So Man City have a hill to climb in the second leg. So guys, give your prediction for that second leg of Real Madrid and
What about the other
Barca.
games? Well, they had Bodø/Glimt.
Yeah,
Bodø/Glimt already
Yeah.
basically closed off 3-0.
yeah.
It's 3-0, right?
Bodø/Glimt. That was the Bodø/Glimt like is a Cinderella story in the Champions League right now.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Being every stage they've gone so far in this tournament, has been their first experience, and they're one of the smallest what let's say like budgeted team
In the
or
Champions League right now.
smallest value team in terms of their brand and their
In-
wealth,
In this leg.
and they've been doing an amazing job. So there's one of those Cinderella story like we could recall like Leicester City in the Premier League. So it's a somewhat a similar
And
situation.
Cinderella don't really happen in
Yeah,
the Champions
they've
League.
beaten some of the biggest teams. Yeah, so they've beaten some of the biggest teams in this
Yeah.
tournament thus far. Man City, Inter Milan, and these teams. And now they've won the first leg by beating Sporting Lisbon, who've known to be a consistent Champions League
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
So there's the next game to look forward to the second
yeah.
leg. Give your prediction for the guys.
They're hard. There's a tough field for claim for Sporting.
Sporting, but I mean they're playing home. They've beaten Man City. Teams like Man City, they've scored like what 3-4 goals against them playing home in the Champions League. So who knows?
Yeah, we know
This is the beauty
football
about the
goes.
Champions League. Like anything is possible.
Yeah, this thing about football, man. And on any given day, anybody could win.
Correct. And then there's Bayern Munich. Well, I mean we could agree that Bayern Munich and Atalanta game is basically like is a game of motion right now because it's nearly impossible for Atlanta to come back from that type of goal margin to
Yeah.
come back and progress to the next round. So we think that's dead in the water basically. Bayern Munich advanced second leg at the Allianz against Atalanta. So that's out. And then there's the game of PSG and Chelsea. Now, that game. I mean, for me, it was disappointed from Chelsea. I actually thought Chelsea was gonna do better, or maybe have a win or a draw from the game. So, what's your thoughts on the game, though?
But I just like I expected, I hoped that Chelsea would give me a performance because they get the quality to do it.
Yeah,
However, PSG in the Champions League for the last couple of years, the only team really getting it over them is probably Madrid or so. But
just like how there was a surprise for last season in the Champions League, went
Yeah.
on to win it.
yeah, no,
So-
to me they weren't a surprise. Remember, they were always there, right? For the
Yeah.
last, let me say, about 5 years, they were there in the quarterfinal, semi-final stage. But to get it over, they had it. But now,
No, but I guess most we didn't expect them for go on for win though. So
yeah,
there was another thing.
Yeah, this is true. Everybody
We didn't
had
expect them to go on to win it, but they probably was one of the most balanced team in the tournament last season.
and to me they still are. Once
that's
they
true.
once they top line fit,
Because
Dembele,
the first leg performance against Chelsea like proved that they're still a formidable
Yeah.
force in this tournament.
yeah, any given day the team could turn on and
Yeah,
do
but
damages.
but Chelsea performance in the Champions League thus far, like I honestly thought Chelsea would have put in a better performance against PSG. I thought they would have winning, and then Chelsea have like that's from I always say you're good as your last game. And Chelsea last game against PSG, they beat PSG 3-0
They got through. There was a
So
one
when you discrediting Chelsea performance against PSG.
I discredited was saying that they went at that game. Let me say they put out the best performance. They get through, right? They had
get
a
through.
tactical plan, and they got through with the tactical plan. if you watch the game against PSG, where they actually beat PSG in the it was what, Club World Cup final, right?
Yeah.
They advantage PSG.
I guess the aggression was there.
They were tactically sound, and their tactics were on point. They worked with what they had. But PSG correct them mistakes from the last time. remember the last time they had a lot of space on the wing backs.
No,
the wing backs
a
attacking
lot
for PSG.
had happened to Chelsea between then and now. They changed course, they changed coach, so them maybe played a role too.
Exactly, they probably played an important role because the coach knew the tactic how to beat PSG. Because PSG attack with everybody. Only the two middle backs use the left back, leave at the back did to defend. The wing backs attacking, so the midfield crowded. They overload the midfield and go forward.
And then Chelsea have a thing of not taking their chances, and then the silly mistakes that follows. Like when you're playing against a team like PSG, you have to be sound, you have to be compact, you have to be fully focused on your head in the game. And I think those sometimes Chelsea lack those type of things. And they lack leadership sometimes, mostly in the defense, because there's so much inexperienced defender that I have there. Like guys who've been on the big stage and know to play under pressure. Because you're playing against the best team in this competition based off of they won it. So they're the defending champs. So you go in at Paris to play against PSG, you shouldn't be conceding 5 goals at teams like Chelsea, 5 against PSG.
I mean, you shouldn't. Maybe people taking the chances, you were chasing though.
Yeah,
I see they get some comments there on the predictions.
What's some of the comments?
Nobody.
But yeah, so for that game with Chelsea, I don't know, like guys give me a prediction, but I think I base off of Chelsea last game over the weekend, losing to Newcastle. I would say PSG goes through. Like I favor Chelsea, but I don't see it happening. They might win the game, but they might lose the tie. Overall, who knows? I think they're gonna. I think losing 2 straight. Nah, man.
No, they gotta come out. They gotta come forward to attack PSG, and PSG gonna punish them.
But I can't see Chelsea losing 3 games straight. Cause they don't lose to PSG, then they lose to Newcastle. So going into this second leg. But they might. I feel they could win the tie, but like I said, overall they're gonna lose they're gonna win the game, but they're gonna lose the tie.
We get some predictions.
What's the predictions? What's the predictions they getting?
Roger Singh said PSG to win 2-1.
2-1.
Atletico to win 3-1.
I wonder how PSG fans gonna feel about the 2-1. Chelsea fans gonna feel about the prediction. We need some insight on some Chelsea fans. And Atletico?
Atletico to win also.
Unfortunate for and Atletico and Tottenham. Unfortunate for Tottenham. I mean, they're going through it on all levels. I don't think we have much to say about the game because there's a lot Tottenham dealing with. I don't know what's going on in the camp. But they're failing on all grounds. In the Premier League, they're actually facing relegation, and in Champions League, they've done good so far until they reach up to Atletico. And they were Atletico. That game ended so 5-2. Yeah, the game ended 5-2. So I don't see they putting 3 goals without conceding, 3 or 4 goals past Atletico without conceding. So there's a mountain for them to climb. It might be a mountain for Chelsea to climb. It might be a mountain for Atalanta to climb. But the other games, I think anything is... Well, also, I think like the other games, I think anything is possible.
Yeah, we get Tyrone saying Chelsea getting knocked out.
Chelsea getting knocked out. And what's the prediction for...
Barca going through, of course.
Barca going through.
Yeah, Barca fan.
I mean...
And City going home. Well, they should be right. Yeah, City going home.
I know City fans. Home. I know City fans gonna have a different view on that, but I wouldn't jump the gun on those yet. I think the game there's still. You gotta remember that I feel like Real Madrid have injuries, and fortunate for Real Madrid, they did well at the Bernabeu by scoring 3 goals. I mean, nobody in the world wouldn't have predicted an outcome like that.
Once Madrid do not concede over 1 goal in the first half,
Mm.
we win in the tie.
Okay.
Once you don't concede over 1 goal in the first half, we win in the tie. That's my take on
Yeah.
it. Devon Bremner says Barcelona all the way.
Barcelona.
Me, I think
No,
he probably talking about the final and everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta take this in stage, Devon. We can't just jump the gun. So, you started with Newcastle. We started with Newcastle. So at the camp, you gotta take care of business there for us. But yeah. So
No, the stadium finish?
yeah, the stadium. I
Stadium
think
finish.
it was already what was it called, approved by UEFA. I think last week.
Okay.
Last week or like earlier. Yeah, it was already approved by UEFA that it's up to standard. So I guess they'll able to go back in there and play their games. I don't know from when, if it's maybe from today, because they're playing and they're up against Sevilla. So
we got another fan said Chelsea come back with 3-0 full time and win
Yeah.
it in extra time. This is a brave prediction. Brave prediction. It sounds like an English league prediction, man.
yeah,
Um,
English.
an English league prediction. Most of the English fans.
Yeah. So those are games. So fans, guys, viewers, people listening, watching, sending your predictions. What you think for the Bodo Glen Sporting game, Chelsea, PSG, Real Madrid, Man City, Barcelona, Newcastle. Well, I don't think we need predictions for Bayern Munich game. We already know that's dead in the water. Who else? I'm missing anyone else? Oh yeah, Liverpool, Galatasaray. That game's gonna be crazy at the Anfield.
Yeah.
That's the one of the game with the narrowest margin. There's a 1 goal there, so that
Yeah.
game is gonna be crazy. And so this coming Tuesday and Wednesday is gonna be crazy in the World Champions League to go on to the next round. So give your predictions. I feel like for reviewing like on Barca game, like the game there, I feel like Newcastle missed the window against Barca, and Barca gonna get it right at home. Because I always believe in home court advantage, and it's very important that you take advantage of, like Galatasaray did, maybe even on a narrow margin, they did what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Real Madrid did it. Surprisingly, Real Madrid get that job done. Surprisingly. Because I wasn't expecting though. I thought they would have drawn. If they would lose the game by at least a 1 goal difference, where they could go and fight in the next leg, providing that some key players come back. Because for all the teams.
I don't even think we should invite back in the key players. If Mbappe fit, he should sit on the bench.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he should sit on the bench.
Okay.
Come on, let me say 60th minute
But
and give you a punt. Otherwise, like relax yourself.
But
I believe in the youths right now. Working
Okay,
like how Barcelona working for the last couple of
my
years.
feeling Champions League is got all the help that they get.
Yeah, this why you bring you on, let me say 60th minute. They run at Laporte and them at the back there, they're tired. And
Alright.
at least get a goal or two.
Yeah, for those are the big games coming up. There's Barca, Newcastle second leg, Real Madrid, Man City second leg, PSG, Chelsea second leg, Liverpool, Galatasaray second leg, Bodo Glen Sporting second leg. Like I said, Bayern Munich, we don't even have to talk about it. That's dead in the water.
We can take more predictions from Devon Bremner. He said City 4-0 Madrid.
I mean, this is view.
Yeah.
I mean, Real Madrid once lost at Man City 4-0. So, like I said, football, anything is happening.
Yeah.
So we have to just get your predictions and we see how this plays out. So that's that. And moving on to the Prem have been electrifying this weekend. And there's La Liga. There's we know like League One. There's always been this one team
Yeah.
team with PSG. They're dominating, so they're likely to go on to win the league. Likewise, Bayern Munich, same. And there's the Premier League with
Premier League, boy.
the Premier League.
hot league right now. It's finished and done, or
So to some people, they will conclude that it's over with because Man City draw yesterday and Arsenal won. Now they're up by 9 points, and that's like almost impossible to come back and beat with few games left. Like I think there's like 4 or 5 games left, 5 to 6 games left remaining. So I feel like Man City have blown that opportunity and ruined it for most fans that hate Arsenal. To the football fans that hate Arsenal, they call them set piece FC. It's one of the most boring team, whatever. But
Dastani,
Arsenal likely to go on to win the league. Regardless.
to my friend Dastani, don't start the celebration yet. All right. For at least a year, you're gonna be celebrating. Nobody can't tell you nothing.
Yeah, but City also have a game in hand. But even if City won that game in hand and they break
you
it
get
down,
some tough games though. I see City get some tough games.
Yeah, so there's one of City disadvantage where as in they haven't shown the consistency in winning in the league because they're playing against some teams that fighting for survival. Example yesterday, the West Ham draw with them. Now they are to play Chelsea next. I think Chelsea is their next Premier League game. That's gonna be a tough game. Both teams looking to bounce back. They draw Chelsea last, so it's always is challenge for them to catch Arsenal, even though they have a game in hand. So we'll see how that plays out. But Arsenal looking more and more the favorite to win the league.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad for them. Arsenal deserve a win, but the last 3 years they going second and third and close the finishing line. They had it couple times.
So and there's a lot of fans still thinking that Arsenal may still battle this, but time will tell. But for me, I feel like the time different, the points, it's almost impossible.
Yeah, it's about time they lift the trophy.
So so we go to
we take a shower break.
Yeah, and then when we come back, we'll close off certain stage of this thing and
we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thanks.
When you want to see me, I'm in West London this evening. Give me the feelings, no, I'm not leaving till I fly LA is leaving. Well, I'd rather go find somewhere quiet, real close, and I get lost in your eyes. I'm again off so, girl, you just capture my soul. I'm again off so, maybe wanna just take you home.
Yeah, we're back here. For people now tuning in, for viewers, thank you guys. This is the game plan. And for the next week, as we look to wrap up things, we'll be able to give you guys a recap on some of your predictions for these Champions League games because, like I said before, this week is gonna be painful for a lot of fans, while this is gonna be a joyful moment for others. Moving on, so we'll likely closing up the round of 16, going into the quarterfinals of the Champions League. So give your prediction, and we'll address that. Hopefully, we'll have some segments where we could have some feedbacks, like verbal conversations about these previous games. Maybe some call-in segments, maybe even live video chat. So those are things we'll work on to address these Champions League games and the league, with Arsenal is concerned, and the battle between Real Madrid and Barcelona for La Liga. So those are the two main focus. So for guys who've been listening all over the world in the multiverse, thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of Game Plan.
Thank you guys. See you next week. Same time, 11,
same place.
12. Same place.
I'm in close.